Hi guys, this is chapter 1, key issue 4. This is a new video. It's me from this year, not me from last year. So hi. This one's going to be really quick. So we're talking about two really important geographical theories that are going to come up over the course of the year. One is possibilism and one is environmental determinism. Okay, so as I've said before, we talk a lot about human-environment interaction. And there's three schools of thought: cultural ecology, which we don't focus on as much. The other two are environmental determinism and possibilism. So that means when we look at human-environment interaction, we're going to look at it either through a possibilist lens or a determinist lens. Okay? So, I'll go over cultural ecology really quick. It's a geographic approach that emphasizes human-environment relationships, which we do. It's just not something that so like the whole class is cultural ecology. So we don't define oh, now we're looking at this through cultural ecology, because we're kind of always doing that, if that makes sense. It's the study of human-environment interaction, and that is what we do in AP Hug. So, all right. Okay, so here's the theories, two of them. The first is environmental determinism. And a geographer who believes in environmental determinism argues that laws sought by human geographers could be found in physical sciences. But what we really care about is that environmental determinists believe that your environment determines your interaction. So, sort of like we talked about the other day when we talked about sports. Not a lot of other countries besides Russia and Canada play ice hockey because the environment doesn't allow for that to happen. So, your housing is going to, if you're going to build a very well insulated house in the cold weather, but maybe like on the Sahara in Africa, you don't need that kind of house. Does that make sense? So basically, the environment determines the choices that you make, and you can't get around that. It is what an environmental determinist would believe. I'm trying to think of another example. Let me talk about possibilism. I'll try to come up with a better example for you. So possibilism still believes that the environment determines the human-environment interaction. But what a possibilist would say is that, okay, yeah, so ice hockey mostly exists in Russia because of the cold weather. But a possibilist will say humans have the power to overcome that determination. So humans could do something like build indoor ice rinks, and then ice hockey can pretty much exist anywhere so long as you can afford the cooling bill, right? So that's humans getting around the environment to make something work for them, and that's called possibilism. So an environmental determinist would say, there is no possibilism. The environment determines what you do, and that is it. Okay? So sometimes we talk a lot about possibilism in here, but sometimes there are things we talk about that are kind of environmental determinist. These two are typically on the big test. They'll give you scenarios, and you have to say, is this something a environmental determinist would believe or a possibilist would believe? But that's pretty much it. You just need to understand those two theories. You can ask me about them in class. And that's your video. I told you it was going to be short. Okay. And that's it for chapter 1, which means you have a key term quiz coming up and a unit exam. So hopefully those flashcards are getting done. You're doing them a little bit every night. It would be awesome if you got them done like a week before the test, because then you could just study and not be doing them. Sometimes kids forget that. They spend so much effort doing them, they forget that, oh yeah, you got to look at them afterwards. So, anywho, you should have plenty to do. Have a good weekend. You're possibly on your weekend right now, so have a good one.